little engine in the hood. If I could show you.
Sir, you have had, man, one heck of a year.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah, it's been great.
Talk about, again, history made at the Grammys, but the Tennessee State folks were hyped.
Yeah.
Everybody who participated in the whole deal, but because it was just a totally unique project.
Yeah, yeah. I was introduced to TSU through Larry Jenkins, Professor Larry Jenkins, and he kind of just took me around and let me hear the music. I was actually looking for the sound. I went on this sound run because I kind of like chase sound. So I was looking for the Joshua and the Walls of Jericho, and I found that in the marching band because they were marching around the Walls of Jericho and playing the horns. So to me, that's a marching band. So I went to HBCU to try to find that sound, and I found a sound, and it was at TSU. And
you visited other HBCUs?
Yeah. Before that, I went to Howard. I went to, Alabama A&M, like a bunch of schools.
But you knew in your head the exact sound you were looking to hear.
Yeah, and Professor has a really unique sound when it comes down to arranging. So it was really like, let me find the real sound of HBCUs.
Right.
And they really brought it to the table, and I was able to record, and Dallas Austin kind of taught me how to record marching bands because he did drumline.
Right.
So I took that information, went there, slept there, everything, in the band room, right?
Wow, really?
Yeah.
How long were you there?
Almost a year. Yeah, almost a year. Yeah. In the band room, just recording, showing up, recording, and then we came across.
It was like you were in college for that year.
Yeah, right. Because I'd never been in college as well. But I knew I could help solve something for the music department. They gave me an honorary doctorate for it. And from there, we got the Grammy, and now we're headed toward the next Grammy by bringing 10 HBCUs and creating an HBCU symphony that will actually hire students. Actually, one of the TSU students is outside right now. He plays trumpet. He's now on tour with me.
I heard him playing out there.
Yeah, he's on tour now. So straight from school to being a hired musician, and I want to do that for as many musicians as possible, and then we can score films. So HBCU Symphony is a new organization that I'm starting. So I'm learning how to do 501c3s and unionizing symphonies and endowments and all of that sort of stuff to turn it into a full symphony that can do black films like Tyler Perry or Will Smith or all
Now
that
was that born out of this experience, or did you already have that vision before you even started this?
I didn't. When I did TSU, I felt so bad because they were online and everybody was like, oh man, we didn't win a Grammy. Like, oh, my school didn't get that. Or, I wish he had to come to my school. And I know how important it is for musicians to not put their instruments down after school.
Right.
You usually have to put your instrument down after marching band and then go and find a real job.
Right.
Well, in this case, we'll be able to hire them like we're doing with Kurt right now. So, yeah. That's kind of the goal.
See, the thing that I think was awesome about that is I always talk about intentionality.
Yeah.
Meaning you start off with, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So when you said I'm looking for a sound, you could have went from a sound standpoint. You could have went to any number of PWIs.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But you were like, no. There's a certain thing I'm looking for, and so you were intentional in saying, no, I want an HBCU sound.
Yeah.
And then even within that one, I want a certain sound within the HBCU sound.
Yeah. I mean, the symphony of the HBCU sound is the marching band. Right? Because when we go into, the parties or whatever, or the games, everything is surrounded around the marching band, the drum major, and all of that, right? So the majorettes, it's a really important part to African American history. And I knew I wanted that sound. You couldn't get that at a PWI. It had to be HBCU.
And then, so this HBCU symphony, have you had conversations with folks in the movie space about this? and
Yeah.
and saying, hey, you're scoring films here, like you're doing it already.
Yeah.
Here is a great way to do it, and you are truly impacting and helping Black students in HBCUs.
Yeah, I've had a conversation with a few, but the goal is to make the best music
Right.
as much as possible. So it's like score. Well, the name of the album is The Now Testament, so I'm trying to score what's going on in our previous time by referencing the Old and the New Testament.
Right.
So the Now Testament has this sound. So score the sound from the Clotilda in Mobile, Alabama, the slave ship,
Yep.
the last slave ship to America, all the way up to February when the Grammy hits, or when we do Mardi Gras, because we're playing for the Queen of Mardi Gras. So like this Black sound will the symphony will take you through from the Clotilda to Mardi Gras next year, and you'll have this sound and this big performance, and these 10 HBCUs come together, and then we create that sound, right? Then we go to films. We did get an offer from Bungalow and a few other people to jump in and create a documentary series around it with Hulu and all of that sort of stuff. But the goal is to first just create the sound and make sure that it resonates with the culture of gospel.
I'm going to let Tyler know.
Right. That would be amazing.
That
would be amazing.
Down?
Yeah, because I mean, then he can, use so many students and give them a chance to really get their chops up. Like kids were changing their Instagram page saying, Grammy Award-winning trumpeter.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's true. They're on this Grammy Award-winning album.
Yeah.
And they got their Grammy.
If you want it, you want a Grammy.
Right.
You Grammy Award-winning.
Right. And the reason why we went for that is because, in the world of music, that's very important.
Yeah.
So to set that standard, and Fisk had already done it the year before with the Jubilee Singers, but we knew that if we did it in a way that gospel could really relate, as far as HBCUs, marching bands, all the, playing fields, they were playing against Jackson State in that big stadium, and they're playing the album.
So have you already picked those 10 HBCUs?
Yeah, so we have Philander Smith, we have, Jesus Christ, Wilberforce, we have—
Out of Ohio?
Alabama A&M.
Okay.
North Carolina A&T,
All right.
North Carolina Central. It's just it's a lot of Fisk. We just recorded with the Fisk Marching Band.
See, now you pick 10, so that means you're going to have about 97 folks now mad, yo, man.
well, as much as I possibly can pull it off, put them together so that it's no longer a battle.
Right.
The thing is, we battle against each other, and we're not actually building together. So instead of battling, let's play together and break the Guinness World Record for the largest African-American performance. So that's the goal at Mardi Gras, to really have that many kids playing at one time and making an album and making a statement.
Now,
in
I
the
know
world.
one of those 10 from Louisiana.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You ain't trying to get cussed out at home.
No. So Mardi Gras originally started
Mobile,
in
Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, I know.
So we're gonna go to Mobile, have the big dresses, the whole thing, and it's gonna be
The Mobile people really get mad when people keep talking about New Orleans. And they act like Mobile, no, this thing started here.
Right.
Mobile people take it real personal. People only reference New Orleans and Mardi Gras.
Yeah, because it's connected to Africa Town and how the Clotilda started from Africa Town started from the Clotilda, and that's the whole journey of what I think this album would consist of.
When did this sound thing begin in your head? How old were you?
Man, it was long time ago. I was a little kid, just finding sound, just chasing sound.
Well, first of all, was it music being constantly played in your house? Was it in the neighborhood?
Yeah. So part of my sound, I could hear it from the projects outside of the church, but my dad's church in Chicago here was really musical. Like all my brothers and sisters, our 22 brothers and sisters, are musical. But to have that
22
moment.
22 brothers and sisters?
Yeah, my dad will be 100 next year.
You're one of 23?
Yeah.
Your dad's going to be 100 next year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was always chasing.
So your dad believed in being plentiful and multiplying.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yes.
Your mom was like, slow down. 1 of 23. Lord.
That's funny. Yeah.
Man, how big was your house?
No, multiple houses, but it's multiple houses, different families. But we stuck together and worked on music a lot. And growing up, I just stayed around music. And at some,
Other musicians in the family?
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, other musicians in the family, but I'm probably the one that actually did it, right? Because everybody else was like, oh, I don't know, I got to go to work. Let's do something
Right.
responsible. You know what I mean?
So were you sort of, so I mean, thinking back, were you sort of that weird kid that teachers and others never understood? Because when you talk, I had this conversation with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Oh yeah.
And they were telling me, they were saying that like when they listen to music, it was interesting talking to them because Prince said the same thing, that when they listen to music, it's hard for them to listen to music because they're sort of rearranging the music in their head.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
for
we
sure.
listen to it, just I'm listening to the music.
Yeah.
Where they're hearing something totally different than what we are.
Yeah.
Were you like that growing up?
Yeah.
And then when did you go, okay, I'm not quite like everybody else. I'm hearing, and did you ever say, y'all not hearing this?
Well, yeah. So I mean, at 11, I really dived in because my dad died, so I had to really focus in on what I wanted to do in life, right? 'Cause it was either going to be in a gang or music, because I wasn't really that good at school. But I started working on it and kept working on it and kept working on it, and I was driving Lyft and playing my music for people. And then as I kept going, I took my Lyft money. I was homeless at the time, so driving Lyft, homeless, playing my music for people, and they would go like, oh, I kind of like this, I kind of like that. So they start kind of tweaking my sound for me. And then from there, I signed a deal with Atlantic and then opened up for Beyonce and then met Jay and then just kept going.
And it just blew up.
Tony Bennett, yeah, Chance the Rapper. Just kept working with a bunch of people, Jay Ivy, like a lot of people. And yeah, so now it's just the sound of everything. But I actually don't listen to music. I don't listen to anybody's music. Like, Donald Lawrence is my, mentor.
Right. And of course, he was over the whole music program.
But I don't know a lot of his music because I don't allow myself to put other textures on my palette. So I have to kind of
Wow.
Yeah. So
See, I think a lot of people really don't understand that concept.
yeah.
I remember when I had a Sunday morning show on TV One. My producer, he kept sending me notes on Monday and Tuesday, what was on Meet the Press and Face the Nation, and this week, and I was like, "Yo, Jay, stop."
Yeah.
I said, "I don't watch those."
Yeah.
I said, "We ain't doing what they doing."
Yeah, because it's on your subconscious.
So don't send me notes. I'm not trying to do what they do.
Yeah, no.
And I literally wouldn't watch. I literally wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, because it messes up your genius as well.
Well, I just don't. It's like if it's not interesting to me, then I'm like, why am I sitting here watching this? And like even now, I had a friend ask me, fellow journalist, who asked me. He said, "Oh, what columnists do you read?" I said, "I don't read none of them." What I meant by that, now I might read somebody's stuff, but I don't go, "Oh, I'm reading so and so every single week or twice a week. I'm seeking them out." I don't. I just I'm not. Even if I look at the cable news shows right now, I don't watch them.
Yeah.
I don't watch CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. I might see clips on Twitter or whatever, but I literally don't watch it because what we do with my show is so different, and I'm just like, I'm not getting anything out of that.
Right.
And it's hard for people to really understand that because it's what you just said. You will subconsciously pick up on what somebody says. The next thing you know, you're parroting what they say and do, and not just sort of flowing in your own gifting than how you want to see the world.
Yeah, exactly. So that's part of it. And the reason why is because I was digital marketing and music at Leo Burnett. And Leo Burnett is an agency.
Yep.
And
a Chicago institution.
Yes. So I understand the psychology behind sound and audible branding, right? So how it sits in your subconscious and kind of forms your thoughts for you through culture. So I prefer not listen to music so that I can focus on finding something that's ancient, like a marching band playing a gospel album. You know what I mean? That's kind of going back to your roots in a way, and the opposite of where everybody else is.
Do you? So I'm curious by that because remember I was in St. Kitts. It was we were heading for this boat ride, and I heard this song, and I had to immediately go Shazam it, and I couldn't Shazam it. I couldn't bring it up. I couldn't bring it up, and so then I recorded it so I could Shazam it later.
Yeah.
And first of all, the reason I love Shazam is because when Shazam came up with when it was created, you could, because I might hear a song and I might sit here and I'm like listening. So then I would remember like 4 or 5 lyrics.
Yeah.
And then I would go to Google and
Yeah.
then type in those words and then try to figure out what the song was.
Right.
'Cause I just love music like that because
Yeah.
I played cornet in elementary school, bass baritone
Nice.
horn in middle school and high school, and so so you hear something you're like,
Wow. Yeah.
you hear something you're like, okay, who's that? And then and so then like I might walk over and I'll be somewhere and I'm like Shazamming something. Like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what the song this is.
Yeah.
So for you, how do you walk through this world when you're in airports and when you're just anywhere? Do you hear something and you go, interesting, and then does your brain start sort of processing that and going, okay, that could be, and then next thing you know, just that sound just takes you on a journey somewhere.
Yeah. But most of the time I try to ignore places that play music.
No, I don't even mean music.
Oh,
I'm just saying
sound,
if you're
sound.
somewhere and you might hear a sound,
Yeah.
and then
I've
how
heard,
your brain works, you hear a sound differently than other people's. Sort of like when Ray Charles, when he heard sounds as a kid when he was blind, he heard differently because he couldn't see.
Yeah. No.
So
I definitely.
so do you hear differently and then go, okay, I can do something with that, and then next thing you know, your brain is just going somewhere with it.
I can take sounds. I can hear sounds. I can replace music. I can take vocals out of my head. I can hear sounds as in somebody or actually I was talking to a friend.
I mean, like all this sound I'm hearing behind me right now, trying to figure out why this is happening in the middle of this interview. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Or like when he had the Velcro pants right there and made that noise, and I'm like, really? In the middle of this interview? Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
That's funny, dude. Oh my God.
Because see, you heard it too.
Yeah, I heard it. I definitely heard it. I heard it. But I can hear sound. I was in the shower. I take about 3 or 4 showers a day, right? If I can, because I'm just thinking.
You like Dwayne The Rock. He does the same thing.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't
They
know
like
that.
3 or 4 a day.
Yeah. But I can actually hear the key of the water dropping off me. Yeah, for sure. Or like there was
You could hear. Wait a minute. Hold up. You could hear the water dropping off.
Yeah, I can hear what key was in. Yeah, or like a friend had a faucet that was a little on, and I can hear the whistle. I'm like, yo, that key is, Or I can listen to 432 and tell the difference between 440 and 432 hertz, so I can feel it. Like I'm in the studio most of the time, so I can feel sound.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
No,
It drives me insane a little bit.
No, that's what I was about to say.
Bootsy's the same way though. Bootsy Collins, he's the same way. Like, yeah, like there's people that get stuck into finding sound and creating sound that they might go perform, but they really feel like prostitutes when they perform. It's more so they like to create things.
Right.
Like Prince. Like he can perform, but
Right.
he wasn't trying to be like Michael. He was more so in the studio making albums and albums and albums and albums that we still have yet to touch.
Because he was in search of something.
Yeah.
He was like I was totally like when he left Warner Brothers, and then he left them when he left the 700 songs.
Wow.
And his whole deal was none of those songs were good enough for release. And one of them I just love called "It's About That Walk." I love the song, and I'm like, and it was crazy because when he died, George Lopez was a good friend of his, and I met him 2 or 3 times. I met Prince twice.
Wow.
And it was crazy because Van Jones told me, I swore y'all were friends because he always talked about you. He made my book and everything. And George once said, man, I would have loved for you and Prince to have a music conversation. And would have loved to have a conversation. And I would have loved to ask him, that's a banging song, but why for you was that not good enough for release? I mean, it's an amazing song.
I totally understand.
So I would love to ask, how was that one not good enough to be released.
Yeah, I'm releasing tonight at 12 a.m. tomorrow or something, and I was in the studio working on the music and ready to release it. And my guy called me and was like, yo, you gotta hurry up, you're gonna miss the Grammy deadline. And then you did all of this, no, you gotta hurry up. And it's not finished, but I had to upload it in order to meet the deadline.
Right.
I was full body on the floor crying for hours.
Because for you,
It wasn't perfect.
it wasn't, wow.
Yeah, so I feel that, yeah.
So how do you then deal with that? Because
And
in some ways,
I'm gonna ask them, can I replace the audio like later? Like, hey, distribution, you already did that. You released it. Now let me tweak the mix real quick and send it to you again. Then
no, what I mean by that, in some ways, because you said it earlier, in some ways you're trapped by the genius, and sometimes you have to let it go.
Yeah.
So do you have those around you who you trust who are kind of like, sir?
Yeah, Jay Ivy, for sure.
We gotta let it go, bro.
Yeah. He's like, yo, you gotta let it go, for sure. But I mean, it's the first symphony for gospel, period. We've never had an artist that was a symphony.
Right.
And then it's HBCUs, you know what I mean? And it's the HBCU symphony. Like we didn't even have one of those before.
It must drive you crazy that schools today don't have the same appreciation of music and the arts that they used to. As I said, I played in elementary school, junior high, and high school.
Yeah.
And it bugs me because I absolutely believe that playing an instrument
is essential.
has played a huge role in my success as a journalist.
Wow.
Because you have to read music.
Yeah.
You have to study music.
Yeah.
You have to listen to the sound of other people and then understand I'm playing too loud.
Yeah.
I'm not playing loud enough. And so when then you can literally apply all of that music to so many other areas of life.
Yeah. That's true.
Did you play an instrument when you were in school?
I could play a little bit. I could play a little bit of drums and piano and stuff because my dad was a pastor. If the musician doesn't come or show up.
So you weren't. So what's interesting to me is you really were not a hardcore musician.
No.
But you have this sounding gift.
Yeah.
That's also what's interesting because normally, like when you mentioned Prince and I mentioned Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, a number of people they play instruments.
Yeah. I actually wouldn't compare myself to them at all, to like Prince or Michael or anybody like that. I chase sound as like almost a science, right? So it's like I'm chasing it almost like an A&R, like a Berry Gordy or like. Because they're musical. They're just, they can hear hits, and they can make them based on hearing, but they can't make them off hands, right? Like, you can't,
Barry was a songwriter.
Yeah.
But he wasn't.
I can songwrite.
He wasn't a musician.
I can write songs on anything. Like, the other night when I was on the floor.
You on the floor crying?
Yeah, for hours. I saw an ant, and I saw the ant shadow, and I was like, I've never seen an ant shadow. It was so beautiful, and I was like, I can write a song about that. That's gonna be so dope. but it's those type of things where you can write songs about almost anything, but you have to like hear them. And musicians can play anything.
Right.
But it's about placement. It's about timing. It's about scoring a moment and shifting energy. So yeah.
So do the people around you, do they have to understand when something happens? You like, y'all chill out. That's just sir. Because some people kind of be like, what, like have you had where your mind sort of drifts off? You could be with a group, you could be going somewhere or whatever, and you're just sort of like something just takes your mind away. Sometimes it's kind of like, y'all just chill. Don't worry about it. That's just him doing what he does.
Yeah, most people encourage me because it's an exploration, you know. So if I hear a sound and I go, just let me go. Like my journey in life is my journey in life, and I'm meant to experience life a different way than everybody else is.
Absolutely. So, last question for you. So, Bree Babineau, who's on this tour, You already said you don't listen to music, so
Yes,
maybe you. So here's the deal. So I threw out Debris. We were just talking, and then I threw out the Commodore song Zoom, and she was like, "Who's that?" Then she thought Lionel Richie was Lil Richard. So she had no idea what Zoom was. And I was like, girl, I said, black folk, he can't perform no concert if he don't play Zoom.
Right.
Then I mentioned Jeffrey Osborne and LTD, and she swore Jeffrey Osborne wasn't even black. So, do you know who Lionel Richie and the Commodores are?
I know Lionel Richie because of Jay Ivey. Lionel Richie was like, you guys got to do another album. But do I know Lionel Richie songs all the way through, or no?
Gotcha. But at least you know Lionel Richie.
Yes, I definitely know who Lionel Richie is. Yeah, for sure.
Bree. See, because I was snatching her black card. I told her black card was review status. Okay. Do you know Jeffrey Osborne, LTD?
No.
Okay, so you looked up and got the first half right. She ain't know nobody. She said he ain't black with last name Osborne. I was like, oh my God, only one of the greatest singers, unbelievable brother, drummer for LTD, became lead singer. You're right, so yeah, Bree was struggling. She was struggling. Then she challenged me to ask everybody else on the McDonald's tour, everybody on the tour, if they knew
Lionel Richie.
Both of them. And then she told me I couldn't ask Hezekiah and Anthony because they were older. But she said everybody else younger, they ain't gonna know who you talking about.
Yeah.
And I proved to her she was wrong.
Yeah, I definitely know Lionel Richie, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he told us keep our foot on the gas, like keep working. Next Grammy, keep moving.
There you go.
Don't think that it's that you've acquired anything. Go to your second mountain.
There you go. Well, when he's only one of the greatest songwriters of all time, so that's some sound advice. Man, great conversation.
Yes,
good seeing
sir.
you.
Absolutely.
And good luck with everything, baby.
Thank you, man.
I
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks a bunch.
Yes, sir.
He my homie, he talks to me like an